The host got candid after keeping quiet publicly about the famous face moving in next door to the competing show. Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings has reacted to rival Ryan Seacrest taking over for Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune, the U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal. The game show was stepped in for the beloved Alex Trebek after his passing in 2021 and last year. Ryan also moved in directly next door as the two shows filmed side by side on the Sony Studios lot. Though Ken, 50, has not commented publicly on what he thinks about Ryan, 50, taking over Pat's hosting role, a source claimed that he recently revealed his thoughts in between takes on the Jeopardy! Set. Ken talked about how he was able to go over and see Ryan and Vanna taping Wheel of Fortune recently, the insider said. As both shows are syndicated by the same team, they are filmed on side-by-side sound stages at Sony Studios in Culver City, California. Both Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! Also share many of the same production crew members as they have alternating filming schedules. The source continued, Ken said he is rarely on the lot the same time that Wheel of Fortune tapes but was for one of the only times since he started the other day. Ken was sincerely blown away by how seamlessly Ryan has not just stepped into Pat's shoes but made it his own. At one point, he even joked that Ryan is a much better host than himself. He was very complimentary of Ryan. You can tell there is a lot of respect there and it was fun to see them work their magic next door. He was impressed by the show's production speed and routine. It includes a lot more moving parts to the set as Jeopardy! At a previous taping, the U.S. Sun reported that Ken wasn't losing sleep over Wheel of Fortune beating his show in the ratings as he was even cracking jokes off camera with a live audience. An insider told the U.S. Sun, after a recent taping, Ken asked the live audience if they enjoyed their time at the show, before asking if any of them wished they'd gone to see Wheel of Fortune instead. The crowd erupted in laughter and seemed to appreciate him making fun of the rivalry and not taking it so seriously. Ken is very humble, really kind to everyone on set, and eager to answer questions from guests. It seems the role hasn't gone to his head. There's no ego about him at all. The source also said Ken seems to be settling in well on the renamed Alex Trebek stage and is even using the former host's hairdresser, Renee Ferrugia. Audience members have also asked him which is harder, being a contestant or hosting, and he admitted taking part was much more nerve-wracking than reading out the questions. But he may still be getting heat from bosses after WAF took the top spot last month as Ryan's team is said to be popping champagne over the success. Jeopardy! Brought in more viewers overall last season before Ryan came on board. As both Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! Are so close and share the same crew, each of the trivia shows were forced to shut down earlier this month due to the travesty of the Los Angeles wildfires. Every Wheel and Jeopardy! Taping has been cancelled the week of January 13th. The current tournaments will be delayed and air dates will be delayed. There are no new dates set in place yet, but everyone is actively doing as much as they can, the insider said. Each show employs a large team, with Jeopardy! Having around a 40-person production crew that tapes each episode while an additional 75-member team handles the post-production. Wheel of Fortune typically employs a total of 100 in-house production personnel, with 60 to 100 local staff joining them for those episodes that are taped on location, according to their website. Ryan had been actively promoting various donation sites and resource links on his social media pages. The TV icon, who has called Los Angeles his home for nearly 30 years, had also been active in sharing emergency fire warnings in hopes to spread safety alerts. Ken Jennings had spent years proving himself as the rightful heir to Jeopardy! After the passing of Alex Trebek. He endured the revolving door of guest hosts, the scandal surrounding Mike Richards, and the eventual co-hosting situation with mayim bialik. Now, with the show finally his, at least for the time being, he should have been at peace. But the news of Ryan Seacrest officially stepping in for Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune? That hit differently. Backstage at Jeopardy! Ken scrolled through the headlines on his phone, shaking his head with a smirk. Of course, it's Ryan Seacrest. Who else? He muttered to a production assistant. The guy could host a bake sale and make it sound like the Super Bowl. Ken wasn't one for theatrics, but deep down, he knew what this meant. Seacrest was television's golden boy. He had charisma, polish, and the uncanny ability to be everywhere at once. Could this spell trouble for Jeopardy! Would audiences gravitate toward the glitz and glamour of Will under Seacrest's command? As he adjusted his tie, he chuckled to himself. I've got trivia. He's got spinning letters. We'll see which one America prefers. Jennings had clawed his way to hosting Jeopardy! Through years of intellectual dominance. Seacrest? He just had to flash a smile and show up. But Ken knew one thing for sure, this wasn't just about game shows. It was a battle for America's primetime brainpower. With a final glance at his phone, he exhaled, then strode confidently toward the stage. Let the games begin.